So far, ladies and gentlemen, we have talked about employees, professionals, and H-1B workers. But what if you own a business in America? Because the same conflict that threatened jobs is now beginning to squeeze businesses as well, and that's where our next story begins. Thousands of Indians have built successful businesses across the United States and Canada. Some own restaurants, some run grocery stores, others manage trucking companies, hotels, motels, retail stores for food distribution businesses, farm and import-export companies, everything. Many spend years building these businesses, believing that hard work alone it is enough to survive. But today, a crisis that began thousands of kilometers away in West Asia, it is quietly reaching their balance sheet. Now, when people hear about Strait of Hormuz, most people think about what? Oil? Yes, oil is important, but there is another problem that isn't getting the same attention. A huge amount of world's fertilizers, natural gas and agriculture chemicals also move through this region only. And as tension rises and shipping slows down, supplies become limited and prices it begins to climb. Now, you may wonder, what does fertilizer has to do with an Indian restaurant owner in New York or grocery store owner in California, right? The answer is everything. When fertilizers become expensive, farmers spend more money growing crops. When farmers spend more, food processing companies spend more. And when food companies spend more, wholesalers increase their price. In the end, when wholesalers increase their prices, the final burden that reaches restaurants, supermarkets, and small businesses. Can you imagine running a family restaurant? Every week you buy vegetables. Every week you buy rice, wheat, cooking oil, spices. If every single item becomes more expensive, then your expenses, it shoots up, and that too overnight. But can you simply double the price of every meal? Probably not. Consumers are already dealing with inflation. If prices rise too much, many may stop coming to you, and that leaves the business owners trapped between rising costs and failing demand. The same story applies to Indian grocery stores here. Every shipment costs more, transportation costs more, electricity bills rise. In fact, warehouses become more expensive, insurance costs increase, and slowly, profit margin, it begins disappearing. Businesses that looked healthy just a few months ago suddenly find themselves under financial pressure. And yes, the challenges don't end there. When inflation rises, central banks often keep interest rate higher for longer. That means business loan becomes more expensive. Credit becomes harder to access. Entrepreneurs planning to expand their stores, open a second location, or maybe buy new equipment may decide to postpone those plans because borrowing money now costs much more. Well, many Indian entrepreneurs also send money back to India, import products from Indian suppliers, or they need to maintain businesses in both the nations. Rising shipping costs and disruption in global trade, it make all of these activities more difficult and far more expensive. A business that depends on smooth international trade, it suddenly faces delays, uncertainty, and higher costs at every single step. This is the new reality of globalization. You don't need a bomb to fall near your business. Well, for your business to suffer here. Sometimes all it takes a blocked shipping route, and that to thousands of kilometers away.